Welcome everybody to our grade 5 mathematics course. Let's start by revising some concepts we learned in grade 4. And these concepts are place value, rounding, greater than, less than. Let's go and do a quick revision. So the first thing we want to look at here is what we call a place value table. Now if we take a look at the number 4613, if I were to ask you what the digit 4 in the number 4613 represents, what would you say the answer is? Well, remember, if we've got 4 numbers in a number, our place value table starts with TH, which is thousands, then it goes to the hundreds, then it goes to the tens and the units. So we know that the 4 is in the thousands column. So if we've got a 4 in the thousands column, then the 4 represents 4,000. What would be the 6? The 6 would represent 600s, the 1 would represent 110, and the 3 would represent 3 units. So it goes thousands, hundreds, tens, units. In this question, we asked you what the 4 represents, and that 4 represents 4,000. Let's go and take a look at the next concept. And the next concept is all about rounding off numbers. But to round off numbers, you need to understand what the number is to start with. So the number 398, what does that represent? That represents 300, because that's the hundreds, and 98. What does 1015? That's 1015. What's 3240? It's 3000, and the 240s, 240. So let's go and do a quick revision on how we round off numbers. If we look at this diagram, if I give you the number 324 and I want you to round that to the nearest 100, 324 rounded to the nearest 100. Well, you need to look at 24. This 24, you've always got to compare it to 50. Is it bigger than 50 or less than 50? If the 24 is lower than 50, we need to round it to the one that comes before. So if we're looking at 100, 200, 300, 400, what is the 100 that comes before 324? That's obviously going to be 300. So rounding 324 to the nearest 100 means take it down to 300 because the 24 is not bigger than the 50. If that had said 374, where the 74 is bigger than 50, then we would have taken it to 400. What about this? What about if we look at the number 3,850? If we need to round this to the nearest 1,000, we now need to see what these 3 are. If we've got 500 or more, we'll take it up. If we've got 500 or less, we'll take it down. So 3,850 is going to go to where? It's going to go to 4,000 because that will be the next 1,000 after this. Because this is bigger than 500, we take it up. What about the number 5,376? If we're rounding that to thousands, this 376 is less than 500, so therefore we're going to take it back down to its 5,000. What about the number 576? 576, I want to round this to the nearest 100. The 76 is bigger than 50. We need to go up. The next 100 after 500 would be 600. So all you need to do is look at the digits after what you're rounding. If they're bigger than 50 or 500 or 5,000, you go up. If they're less than the 5 or the 50 or the 500, then you go down. Let's take a look at the next concept. So the next concept over here, that's rounding, a quick revision on rounding, is all about counting forwards and backwards. What do we mean by ascending order? Ascending is that numbers must go from their smallest to the greatest. So if you write 10, 20, 30, that's going in ascending order because you're starting at the smallest and going up. What about descending order? Descending means start at the biggest number and go down. So 30, 20, 10 would be arranging numbers in their descending order. So let's go and look at an example. If we've got these three numbers, 8, 3, 4, 5, or 8, 4, 3, 4, or 9, 9, 9, let's say we had to arrange this in their ascending order, from their smallest to the biggest. Well, if we look at these ones, we can see that 999 doesn't even have anything in the thousands column. So 999 must be the smallest. Let's go and look at these. If we compare 8 with 8, they're the same. If we compare 3 with 4, the 4 is bigger, the 3 is smaller. So which of these ones is going to be the next one? If we're going up, we need to write 8, 3, 4, 5, because we need the largest one last. The largest one's going to be this one, because the 4 is bigger than the 3. So 8, 4, 3, 4 is bigger than 8, 3, 4, 5, because the 3, 4, 5 is 345, whereas 4, 3, 4 is 434. So those are your numbers arranged in ascending order, or the smallest to the biggest. So what we also need to learn are these things. These symbols or signs, this one means smaller than, whereas this symbol means greater than. And you're often given questions where you've got to fill in these symbols. So if we look at these numbers, 9, 4, 6, 4, let's write this out, 9, 4, 6, 4, versus 9, 4, 7, 1. Which one is bigger? Well, the 9s are the same, the 4s are the same. But when we compare 6 to 7, we know that the one with the 7 is bigger, which means this number is smaller than this number. How do we write that? 9464 is smaller than, we use this sign, is smaller than 9471. What about these numbers? 563 versus 521. Well, the 5s are the same, but when we compare the 6 to the 2, if we say 563, 521, which one is bigger? 563 is a bigger number than 521. How do we say that in mathematics? We say 563 is bigger than or larger than 521. If I put the 521 first and I put the 563 afterwards, then we can say 521 is what? Less than, smaller than 563. Similarly, what happens if I wrote the 9471 first, and then I wrote 9464, and I want you to give me a symbol in between? Well, 9471 is actually larger than 9464, so you'd say greater than. So you always need to see which number's given first. So if I say 9 versus 20, 9 is what to 20? 9 is less than 20. But if I put the 20 first and the 9 afterwards, 20 is greater than the 9. So that's a nice quick revision.